Today I'll show you 5 exciting new pocket knives I just got in, and one new brand I've never even heard of before, but I know you're going to like it. I was originally going to do this as like an unboxing video, but I was just too excited and I couldn't wait. You'll understand why once you see everything, especially number 1. As usual, the links to buy, the prices, and coupon codes will all be listed for you down in the description. And if we're meeting for the very first time, I'm Jay. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Go ahead and subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews to get right to the point. All right, let's get started with number 5. I've got the White Mountain Knives exclusive. This is the CJRB Feldspar button lock. You know, this is a tough one for me because I'm really a big fan of the Feldspar design. You know, it's one of my all-time favorite budget knives. And, you know, just like you, I was really excited when I first heard about these White Mountain Knives exclusive button lock versions sell for about $60 a piece. First thing I noticed about the micarta one, you know, because of these contoured scales, the button is, yeah, I mean, it's practically flush with the scale. And just like the Savey Conspirator here, it should have like a cutout around the button, you know, so there's a clear difference between the two different surfaces, you know, which is especially going to be helpful for us lefties who pretty much just have to rely on touch to go ahead and find that button. Now, hopefully this is happening just because it's, you know, still a pretty new knife, but I have to push down the button pretty hard to get it to release the blade. And the first couple times I did that, the button would then stick in that unlocked position and then the blade would swing free. But it's happening less and less now. Let's see if I can get it to. Oh, right there. Now it is. And then it'll get unstuck, you know, as soon as that blade clicks back into place. The carbon fiber laminate version here has less of an issue with that lack of cutout because, well, these scales are flat, so it's a lot easier to find that button. And so far, this lock, it hasn't been sticking. I mean, not even once. Unfortunately, the issue with this one, though, is that the detent is ridiculously weak. I mean, it is really easy to go ahead and shake that open. I guess on the plus side of that, I mean, it's, you know, this knife is super easy to slow roll because that blade's not jumping out. But it does affect the deployment a little bit because it's to the point where sometimes I have to go ahead and like give it, you know, just a little bit of wrist to open that blade. You know, it's not a huge deal because, again, they're still pretty new knives, and we'll see what happens after they break in. Hey, I'm not giving up on these things yet because I still love them. Number 4. Now, this is the new brand that I just found while digging around on Amazon, and I don't know what this company has against vowels, but the name is just Qyg MGS. And so far now, I haven't been able to like locate a name for this thing. So, you know, for now, I'm just going to go ahead and call it Q. And like I said, you know, I found it during a deep dive on Amazon, and, you know, I thought, oh, that action, I just thought it looked good enough. So, you know, for $40, I ordered one, and you know what? I'm really glad I did. Starting with the handle, which, you know, I know is a weird place to begin, especially since it's just carbon fiber laminate over G10. But I gotta tell you, these scales, man, they feel so similar to the stuff that that Spyderco uses. I mean, I compared it to, you know, my Sage 5, which it does, you know, to be fair, the Sage 5, it has just slightly more of an aggressive texture. But I got to tell you, if you didn't know any better, you would think that it was like the same stuff. It even has a 2-position deep carry wire clip, just like the Sage, and even the handle length of the two knives is almost the same. We get 2 different opening options using either the flipper tab, or you can go ahead and use that thumb hole there. And now, unfortunately, you can see it has a fuller, but it's like just a little bit too close to the handle for me to use it to deploy that blade. And you already saw, I mean, this action right out of the box was excellent. I mean, look at that. Look at that drop shut. That's smooth. And it takes, what is that, about, I don't know, like a shake and a half to get it to close. And the blade is that's a 3.2 inch flat ground drop point in D2 with a really nice stone wash finish, or it's also available with like a black PVD coating. Number 3 is going to be another exclusive. This one's from Mojave Outdoor. It's the Qyg Vanguard Gemini in burlap micarta. Now, this one was sent over to me by my friends over at Mojave Outdoor. And, if you haven't already, make sure you sign up for their rewards program so you can earn points back with every purchase you make there. And as you can see, it has the very same like burlap micarta scales as their exclusive version of the 3V Feist. Now look, clearly I'm already a big fan of the Qyg Gemini, but there's a couple differences here which really do, I think, make it worth the $75 price tag. The action on this thing is just incredible. I mean, watch this right out of the box. Oh yeah, drop and shut with a couple quick shakes. And this detent is dialed in like perfectly because I cannot get the blade to fail on the opening no matter how hard I try. The blade steel here is N690, which, it has average edge retention and toughness, but the corrosion resistance is where it's at, because on N690, it's excellent. And historically with the Gemini, the sharpening choil has always been an issue with this design because, well, there really isn't one. You can see it just sort of runs right into the plunge grind without a clear transition between the two until now. Yeah, look at that. They went ahead and they fixed that problem. The pocket clip has also been upgraded because, well, for some reason, it was never a deep carry clip. Well, guess what? Now it is. Unfortunately, it's still just going to be a one position pocket clip, but hey, baby steps, I guess, right? Number 2 is going to be from Kuby. This is the Hide. It's KU 2104. This is one of those knives that, it's classified as a front flipper, but it's really more of like a top flipper. And yeah, you can still go ahead and open it with your thumb, just like a standard front flipper, but it's also super easy to do by just reaching over the top. I really like that this has a thumb hole, but for lefties, yeah, it's going to be it's partially obstructed, which does make it is a little bit difficult to kind of get your thumb in there to open it, but as you can see, it's still doable. Great out of box action with this liner lock, and it does, it will drop shut. Look at that. Oh man, with just a quick shake, and it is very satisfying to go ahead and Spidey flick open. It's this is a chunky little thing with I think a good looking 2.95 inch flat ground drop point in 14C 28N Sandvik steel. Now I was excited to see that forward finger choil, but it's kind of small for a finger, so not very useful in that regard. Now the handle is coming in at just under 4 inches, but I can just fit, you can see, oh yeah, all 4 of my fingers with my medium-sized hand. Now, I paid about $70 for this version. Now, before I go ahead and show you my number 1, I would love to know, what are some of the new pocket knives that you recently picked up? Hey, let us know down in the comments. All right, here it is, coming in at number 1. This is a brand new button lock from Savey. It's called the Chevalier. Now you have to kind of be like a part-time linguist to pronounce some of these names, because come on, I mean, Chevalier, that doesn't necessarily roll off the tongue, does it? This is their latest button lock with it's a 3.46 inch sheep's foot blade in 14C 28N Sandvik, which, as lately it's been pretty popular budget steel because of that excellent toughness it has. Now, I do like a good sheep's foot blade, but unfortunately, you do lose some of like that ability to, pierce through certain materials, especially like compared to the drop point on the Conspirator. I mean, that's just going to be the trade-off here. One of the things I just love about these Savey button locks is, well, I mean, the action and how consistently good it is. I mean, no matter which one of their models you buy. If you're a fan of the Conspirator, then, you'll really appreciate this with it's like a slightly slimmer design that does take up like a little bit less room in pocket. They went ahead and they lengthened the fuller and made it's a little bit more narrow, but it is still easy to use, like as a second opening option. So do I like this more than the Conspirator? No, I wouldn't say that, because I really like this blade shape, the darker stonewash finish, and the micarta scales over the G10. Right about now, there's a video up on the screen that I personally picked out for you to go ahead and watch next. And hey, if you haven't already, consider subscribing for knife reviews that get right to the point. All right, so that's it. I got to run, but thank you so much for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.